All right, so here's what we're going to do today for our final mastermind call this year. If you don't know me enough to know this, you should by now. I am such a fan of retention. Like, you guys put in so much stinking effort to get some people to say yes. Here's my trust, and help me get to where I want to go. That you might as well have them stick around long term. You might as well help them see that they can do hard things, that they can have a transformation, both physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, however it may be, and that what we sell really does help them. It's not just, as Carl says, it's not just selling them the box. We care what's inside the box. We care what we sell. We don't just say, it's not just a transaction. We just don't sell a box. We care what's inside the box. And what's inside the box is a lifestyle transformation. And big part of that is Shakeology. I know this is being recorded, but I'll deny it if you guys say anything about this. But in 2018, one of the things that we are doing is we hired out a third party to help us develop statements we can say, marketing information about Shakeology. Like, we are going to knock Shakeology out of the park, and we're gonna talk about it in ways that Mr. and Mrs. Jones next door to us can understand, which we haven't done yet. Like, when coaches, your brand new coaches, go out and try to sell Shakeology, I am pretty sure they do a horrible job. But it's not their fault, because we don't give them great things to say about Shake. Pretty much all they can do is just read the back, and then try to sell it that way. We are hiring out a third-party company to help us put together statements we can say that are legal and beneficial when it comes to selling Shakeology. Shakeology is going to be a huge spotlight in 2018, because if you haven't figured out by now as well, your paycheck is brought to you by Shakeology. The retail commissions are fun, but if you want to grow this business, if you want to rate advance, if you want volume to increase, if you want all the fun stuff that comes with growing a business, it's because of Shakeology. So we need to make sure that Shakeology is at the forefront of your business. I still think there's ways we can improve as a company as far as spotlighting that and rewarding that and recognizing Shakeology more than Golden Scoop, but or I guess the 365 or type thing. I think there's better ways we can do that. But nonetheless, you will see it being a huge spotlight in 2018. So I hope it is for you and your coaches as well. So retention. And I hope you understand what I mean by retention. To me, retention almost has the connotation of holding on to dear life. That's not retention to me. I would rather say a thriving retention, like people, that they are lifers, that they are around long term, that they are so committed and sold on what these products do for them that you never have to worry about them ever getting off Shakeology again. To me, that's retention. And so what I would like to do is to simply go around and have you guys talk about, and this can be a past thing, or this can be, here's my idea with retention, here's something I've heard in the past, or something I've done in the past that's worked really well as far as keeping people. And the goal, guys, I know I don't need to throw numbers out this, but I will. The goal is to get people past that 3-month mark. That's the magical number in network marketing. If you can get somebody to last more than 3 months, the success rate of them sticking around a lot longer than that is much higher. But we got to get them past that 3-month hump. So ideas of what you've done in the past, or maybe you've heard in the past of what coaches have done or you have done as far as retention, and or ideas you have, especially surrounding 80-day obsession. If you guys, there's so much hype, and it's worthy of all the hype surrounding 80-day obsession. This is where we are going as a company. The style of how we're doing 80-day obsession is where we're going as a company. Get on board. Don't let this just pass by. Yesterday, I had a call with Rachel So I'm going to have her go first. I told her that she gets to kind of kick this one off. She has such amazing ideas regarding this, and I wanted her to talk about some of the things that she's doing in with her efforts to retain people, and maybe to freshen up the why I need to stick around with Beachbody. So Rachel, I'll have you go first, and then you guys can ask questions, or if you do have ideas, this is kind of, I'm turning this over to you. I don't want to talk anymore. I want this to be beneficial for you. So even if you don't have an idea but have a question, let's bring that up and let's talk about it for that. So Rach, I'll have you go first.
I think, I hope I remember what we were talking about. Mainly about like going into my downline. Is that where you're?
Yep, yeah. And if you want, you can talk about the 25th hour at the end if you want to.
Okay. So with the 80-day obsession, one thing that I did first and then see if it worked for myself and then kind of shared it with my team is I saw that we had the accessory bundle available for coaches for the discount of $37 minus the $10 promotion, which gave us 50 PV. So what I did is I just went into my downline and I made a list of all of my inactive coaches that have kind of just fallen through the cracks or fallen into the bod hole, is what I kind of call it, where they lose track and all that stuff. And I just sent them a quick message, and I used how I said, they can get basically access to 80-day obsession, access to Autumn's exclusive coach test group because they were already signed up as a coach for $37, and they get all of the program materials. So I got a really great response back from that, and I got a lot of active coaches or inactive coaches back to being active, which is obviously a good thing you want to do in your business. And then the really cool thing that I saw happen with that is I sent them the coach link that goes directly to the products. And with the share a cart is now that they saw the performance line and they saw the 3-day refresh. And so I had a handful of discount coaches that were inactive that were just going to buy this $37 bundle now add the performance stack because they saw it was on sale for another 20% off, or purchase the 3-day refresh because they saw it was for $40 instead of $50 on top of that stuff. So absolutely love the whole new share a cart and process and how they have that option. And then I shared that with my team and I said, hey guys, I'm sending this message to all my inactive coaches. This is a great way for you guys to kind of get your coaches back and get them excited about this. Here's the message. This is what I did. And I showed them exactly what I did. I even made a video as to how they can access share a cart and all that stuff. And it was a really great response. I had coaches texting me saying, 5 inactive coaches now are active because of that little thing that they were doing. So we have that promotion until January 14th, I believe, of the additional $10 off. So that's something that you should still work towards and still push towards your inactive coaches and just ask them, because being a part of that test group, that's a huge advantage for coaches to go through that with Autumn. And then generally we'll know about this as well because we're doing this together with our big team. Our upline is Liz Harkey, is we're creating this online community completely separate from Beachbody. And basically what we're doing is we're sharing with people, we're calling it the 25th hour, and we're sharing with other people that have crazy, hectic, busy lives. So everyone can kind of relate to that because that's probably the number one thing that we get told to us as coaches is people just don't have enough time, whatever that looks like for them. So we're creating this free community for anybody. Anybody can come into that community, and we're sharing tips, time management skills. We've, as a team, have hired a doctor, and that's a holistic doctor, and she specializes in time management. And we're also hiring a registered dietitian. So our vision for this is to create this huge community where we can get people together. It's not going to be ran like a challenge group where we're posting every single day. It's just a place for people to feel supported and to feel like we get it. Like, we're all in this together, this crazy thing called life. We're doing it together. And we're also giving people an option to kind of upgrade their account. So this is where Beachbody does come into play, is we're allowing them to upgrade to Shakeology, Daily Sunshine, or the Performance Formula on HD. And once they do upgrade, they get access to the dietitian. My dog, you go crazy. She's hiding. They get access to the dietitian directly. They get access to the doctor directly, and they'll get weekly meal plans along with a weekly grocery shopping list for that entire month that they're on that HD order. So our goal with this is to create that long-term retention, and we're going to be talking so much about Shakeology, and Shakeology is going to be played into the meal plans and why it's so beneficial for yourself, so that people continue past 3 months and 6 months and years with Shakeology. And we're kind of hoping to grow this thing really big. But yeah, that's our goal for the new year.
Perfect. Thank you. So yeah, I think that the lesson here is obviously we don't need to replicate or duplicate this, but the idea when it comes to retention is new things, fresh ideas keep people retained. If all we do is the exact same thing over and over and over, that's not, yeah, I guess that's fine, but you're going to lose a lot of people because it's not fresh, it's not new, it's not, and it stays right in line with what their overall goal is. So what a great idea in regards to this. Any thoughts or questions you guys have with either how she reached out to her inactive coaches or with the group?
I think it's a great idea.
Go ahead.
I think that's a great idea, like doing that separate group. And it kind of reminds me of at Leadership what Kevin, who was it, with the Daily Sunshine, the couple that came up on stage.
Rachel mentioned her yesterday too. I can't remember their last names either. I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
They were like a cool couple that like came up on stage.
Coupier. Amber Coupier.
That like kind of reminds me of
Piper. That's what it is.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me like of them, how they say like they made that group where like if they wanted the meal plan that they had to be on Shakeology HD or Daily Sunshine, and they had like 1,500 people on it, but they hired like a specialist to write out like a dietitian to make the meal plan. So that kind of reminds me of that, and I think it's a great idea. Like, people want to be told exactly what to eat, and they want the exact grocery list. So I think that's a really great idea to make a group like that where it's just that. And like, if you can only be in it if you're on something HD. So I think it's really smart.
So I don't know if this is worthy talking out, but what if I'm not part of a huge upline or downline, and what if I can't afford to hire a dietitian or a doctor? How can we take the same concept and multiply it?
I mean, we can just take meal plans right off the Beachbody website that are made by dietitians and nutritionists, which I mean are done. I do that all the time for like my free groups and stuff. So I think we can still label it as, created by a specialist.
Yeah, I do this thing that Lindsay's doing. I take stuff from the blog and I rewrite it and make it look pretty and brand it like myself, but it all comes from, legit sources. And I also have friends who are obviously doctors, but I add them to their maternity OBGYN doctors. And I add them because they're challengers. I add them to my mommy and me groups or my pregnancy fitness groups. And so women know that they can tag them, and they've agreed to it. They can tag them in there if they have questions about something hurts, I'm doing this workout, I'm 4 months pregnant, can you help me? Or, you know what I mean? It's like
that's cool.
A personal barrier, so they don't have to go to their doctor, but they have goals that they want someone in the group. So if anyone has a doctor friend, a nurse friend who's willing to, at least be in the group, that's really helpful. And I can put that on my post saying, pregnancy workout, whatever, hosted with OB, blah, blah, blah. And they've agreed to that. And I've done that numerous times.
Jenna, go ahead.
I also think too that an online community like this is great for retention for our clients, but also for our coaches too, because it really simplifies the process for them so they can focus on getting their invites out and not having to worry about creating all these different free groups or challenge groups or whatever, and just, share with them how this free community works and how they can get their prospects to kind of see the value and upgrade, so to speak, later on. But I just think it really simplifies the whole process all around. So
I just think it's important to have something to invite them to, regardless if they're a customer or a coach. I mean, I probably do at least 2 events a month. It's exhausting sometimes, but it moves my business forward and it keeps the wheels turning, not just for me, but for the people that, we're working with. So I'm always creating events within groups or just on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm doing shout outs all the time. You have to just keep inviting and making it exciting for everybody.
I think too, also having like a group where, like, if you put all your customers that are on Shakeology Home Direct, it's be so much easier if you have them all in one spot to keep track of it. Like right now, I have absolutely no idea who gets Shakeology, who's on hold, who canceled. Like, it's too many to keep track of. But if like they were on HD and I put them in and they're in this group, I would be able to then, watch it better, because I can't keep track like that. So I like that.
Something that we also did to really help like our team culture, this is kind of like a side note, is that there was like, I don't know, at least 10 of us that kind of all came together from our big team, and we created scripts for our coaches to really take out that stress of, holy crap, this is a new group. How am I going to talk, or how am I going to invite to someone? How am I going to post about this on social media? What do I say to follow up? What do I like? How do I invite on Instagram? So we kind of took all of that stuff and we really broke it down. So we created our own content for that, and we're giving it to our entire teams, which I think has been huge, especially for newer coaches or coaches that just get all of this information and like crumble when they feel overwhelmed. And we created a Google Doc where they just have to have the email or the link, and they get access to that. And one thing that we did that was really cool, on Sunday night, our entire team posted our version of the 25th hour. So we all come from different walks of life, and so we shared with our team, and we gave them examples as to how to post about this on Sunday night. And at 8:30, like, it was one of the coolest things I have seen from our team. Everyone was so excited, and everyone was commenting and getting that engagement up for each other. So it was a really cool movement to see with our team kind of do as well. So if you're struggling with the sense of community with your team, getting them to rally and getting your energy and your excitement up with something like that, like, I swear is a game changer.
I 100% agree with that, by the way. When it comes to retaining people, one of the best things you can do is help them feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves. So it is so easy to get caught into the woe is me part of life. Business isn't well, my family life's not well, job, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy, volume's down. It's so easy to get caught into what's not working. But when you are part of something bigger than yourself, when you're part of a mission, when you're part of this movement, you can't complain. It's such a game changer for so many coaches when there's something bigger out there. And so, yeah, a huge point of retention is having that value outside of just personal health and fitness. And I know a lot of times in a lot of the trainings you guys go through, that's one of the things that you have to do first is kind of figure out, here's who I am, here's the mission I am trying to be a part of. And one of the, I don't know what trainings you guys have gone through when it comes to mission statements, but mission statements need to be powerful, but they also need to be memorable. And a lot of times when coaches tell me their mission statement, 3 minutes later, I'm like, wow, that was really long. it was really well done, really well said, but I couldn't repeat what you just said. Like I need to get like within a sentence or within 3 or 4 words. I need to repeat what your mission statement is. I need it to be memorable. I need it to be powerful. I need it to have to inspire me. And then you can have the longer one. That's fine. But when like we are team so and so, and here's the mission we're on. When it's that simple, it's a big deal. And always coming back to that mission statement is beneficial. You'll always hear Carl. You'll always know what our mission statement is. You'll always hear Carl talk about it, and you want to be a part of this movement. You want to help over 200 plus million people improve their health and wellness. I mean, that's just something we always are a part of, and it's so fun to every month see how many people said yes to a challenge pack. And and I think I've sort of talked to everybody about this. But when people said yes to you, they had a vision of themselves in a better place. They did. They didn't just say, oh, fine, just to get you off my back. No, they saw themselves in a better place. And our job is to help them get to that better place. And once you do, the level of trust you have with that individual skyrockets and the retention follows suit. If you're just in this for numbers, if you're just in this for SC points, that's all you're going to be chasing. I'm sorry. That's all you're going to be chasing. But if you're in this for the long term and you're not going anywhere and Beachbody's not going anywhere and we are changing, guys, it is so fun to be part of this huge movement in 2018. Might as well do it the right way. I've talked to coaches this week. I think I've told you about this on my last call. December is my absolute favorite time of the year because I have coaches right where I want them. And a lot of coaches are going, dang, 2017 didn't go as planned. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do next. Perfect. I've been trying to talk to you for a very long time, and it's not getting through to you. And now that you're willing to listen, let's put together a plan that's actually going to work and that's actually going to get you to the results you want. And a huge part of that is retention. Numbers are great. Numbers are great, and you need to know numbers. But if all you do is chase numbers, you're not going to get where you want to go. And so you might as well, even though it sucks, start building that foundation again. Start building that strong foundation so that you never will have that house that crumbles. And retention has to be part of that. So let's keep moving on with some ideas. I know, Lindsay, you mentioned last time you talked a lot about how this year was a rebuilding year for you. Talk about retention, your retention efforts, and how that's paying off right now.
So this year, I really stopped looking at numbers. Like, I didn't look at numbers at all. Like when my coach was like, it's second Friday of the month. Oh my God, elite. I'm like, I'm not even looking. Like, I don't want to know, And I stopped looking at my numbers and I just looked at my challengers. And I just really sought out the people who were super strong and just gave them all the support I possibly could instead of focusing time on worrying about where I was, like in the business. And by doing that, I mean, I don't know if there's like a magic thing that I can say, but I have to tell you something that last year at this time, when I was like approaching elite and like getting ready for that phone call, and it was almost Christmas, and I was like, I don't even want to send one present to any of my coaches. Like, I have nothing to, like, nobody deserves anything. Like, nobody's done a thing. And I was elite, right? I did it all. I did everything. And then this year that I'm not elite and I'm not even close to it, I sent out 12 presents this year. And I said to my husband, I'm like, I got to get a lot of presents. Like, I spent a whole day writing cards and like how proud I am and so excited for 2018 and getting, sending out all this stuff to these people that have really shown like that they're in it for the long run. So I don't know if that helps at all, but I really, like, a lot of people have said to me in the past, like, stop focusing on numbers. You have to focus on the people. You have to, go back to basics. You have to remember why you started. You have to remind them why they started. You have to just help them. And that's just all I did all year long. And even though, like, next year I do want to go for elite, it is a goal of my team's, not just mine, but I don't want to even look at the numbers. I just want to just keep doing the same thing.
And we are, and now maybe, I wonder, I'm not a little bit nervous about dissolving this group because Elite's changing. I don't know if you've heard. Elite's changing in 2018. And what? I can't tell you. What you think? I'm going to get fired if I say this on this call. What's going to happen? But Elite's changing. And
like big?
We need to have a call about the different changes. It's fairly significant changes, and maybe I won't dissolve this group until we have that first January call. But I wonder.
I like this group. I like you guys. I do.
I don't know if this is going to be announced before Super Saturday or not. I don't know what's going to be announced. Anyways, when it is announced, maybe we'll hold an emergency call to go over the deets.
I know that I'm having a team call about it on the 28th of December.
About new Elite?
Yes.
So do you know when we're going to announce it?
So I think that it was going to be, like, I was actually going to have the call this week, but then we decided to do it next week. So.
Hey, whenever Meg tells me I'm okay to talk about it, then I'll be sure to talk about it. So it's fun. I'm on board. It's exciting. And throughout the year, I think it's worthy that we have updated calls so back to the numbers. The whole point is numbers. Focusing on numbers is never fun, but it is necessary if you want to grow your business. I will back up numbers in the fact that, guys, and Jenna Lee is probably the best at it. She messages me every single month. Where are my numbers? Where am I at? Give me everything, which is good because you need to know if and how you're progressing, even though it sucks. But if all you focus on is numbers, then you're going to go down a hole you don't want to go down. I would rather you know your numbers, even to the point of, and I'll relate this to retention. And I have coaches who don't have a success partner at the moment. A few of them have said, well, Kevin, until I find one, you're it. So every night I have to message some coaches and say, okay, how many people did you talk to? How many how many conversations did you start? How many invites did you send? Of those invites, how many of them have responded? From there, how many have you sent out links to? From the links, how many people clicked? From the clicked, how many people purchased? All the way down to from purchasing to becoming a customer to how many coaches. You need to know your numbers because you need then I think the stress level will go down. Then you'll need to know, okay, for me to become elite or premier or to rank advanced, I need to be around this area of this many challenge packs sold each month, this many coaches signed up each month or over a quarter. I don't know, however you do it, but you need to know, because if all you're doing is saying, well, I'm just going to focus on people, that makes me feel good, makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but you're not going to get where you want to go. You're just going to be kind of like, oh, okay, here's what I think. I would rather you make an educated guess based on the numbers, but you focus on people. And I think that's what Lindsay was kind of saying at the end.
Yeah, and it is true. And I have to say, like, I've spoken to my team already. Now if everything's going to change for Elite, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, the sky's not falling.
Okay. But I did say to them, I'm like, all right, so we need 3 people from 2017, 2018 to hit Success Club. Right? So, like, I already, like, marked that out. I'm like, if we get 3 a month and I hit, then we're going to have 6 points per month, and that will give us blah, blah, blah. So, like, they have, like, a target. They know what has to be done. And I've also looked at my ATV. And so what I will do is break that down to try to figure out which, the goal for each month to beat it. So that way we have plenty of time to get enough points. So, like, I do I am focusing on it that way, but in the smarter way where I'm planning it out rather than looking at it at the second Friday of every month and being like, fuck, I'm number 2070 in the company. I suck, like stuff like that. I'm not doing.
Yeah. So, I know. And so, and if Elite and Premier is not your goal in 2018, I'm okay with that. You just need to talk to me or whoever you work with to let us know what are you working for, so we can put together that plan that lines up with whatever you're working for. Sure, Elite and Premier is fun. I get that. So is Rank Advancing. So is Vol. There's plenty of good things to go after in 2018. And if it simply is to rebuild that foundation, great. Then let's break that down rather than chasing data. But Megan, what do you have to say? With a glove on, what do you have to say?
I know I'm getting ready. Sorry, and I didn't want to miss the call. So I did. I did my favorite call with my team last week, and it was doing our vision boards for next year. And it was so cool because I actually got to share my vision board from 2 years ago. And I actually had checked off like almost everything on it. And it was just so cool to share that with them. And because I was like just saying to them, I'm like, guys, I want you, I just think at this time of year, it's really important to empower them to start dreaming big for next year. And I really went with them on, I know people are like, I don't want to, I'm in some groups that linger, that they're like, I don't care about the Success Club. I'm just telling my people to focus on volume. I don't believe in that because I believe that Success Club is a business benchmark. I teach my coaches that that's something important to focus on because challenge packs offer the full package of what we do as coaches. And it's the best discount for, to offer a customer. But, I'm also teaching them, I want them creating income. So I'm teaching them volume. So I'm having them base their goals on their vision board primarily around the leadership ladder versus all based on rank. So that's something I just wanted to share with you guys because it's really funny. When I did look at my board, it was the only things I didn't actually hit were my rank advancement things that I put on there. Because I had a 10-star diamond in my first business center and 5-star in my second. And I haven't reached those. But I have definitely, my income has significantly increased over the past couple of years. So, and so I just wanted to share that, and I think it's really important too, that I also stress with my coaches. And I think that's how I've been able to really help with developing leadership is I don't have my coaches focus on diamond. I have them focus if they are interested in doing this like for full time or making a significant secondary income. I tell them that diamond's like where they're starting. It's like their launch pad. And then it's basically like they're starting the engine of the car. And then they're going to they'll start cruising. And the 2 stars where the magic starts to happen. Because I think that a lot of coaches once they get to diamond, they get stuck in what I call the diamond rut. And then they're going in and out, and it's it can be a big mess because they let off the accelerator whenever they get to diamond. So just wanted to share those little pieces with you. But my coaches are already super excited for next year, and it's cool actually because some of them sent me their boards. And one of the girls, she signed on 2 months ago, and she already has 6 coaches. Like, she has huge potential. And she wants to be diamond by October of next year. And I was like, girlfriend, I wrote her back. And it's because my job is not to push anything on her, but I'm gonna empower her to see like the potential I see in her. So I think it's just important to know that. See where your coaches are at. See what they envision. And then empower them to know what you've breathed that belief into them. I wrote her back and I was like, honestly, girlfriend, I can tell you I started out diamond 1 year and I went to 6-star diamond in a year. I believe that, and I became a lead coach that year. I believe you can do the same because I see that potential in her. She's amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. And I agree. I love that. One of the things I talk to you guys about, my coaches here, is to simply have that conversation with them, find out what their expectations are. Who knew that she would have said October? Nobody would have guessed that, but because she did, you're then able to better align and redirect her focus. So we are short on time, but I do want to end here, but I do want to say this. I think I say this to most of you. as exciting and fun and motivating as January will be with all your new ideas, whatever you come up with, those excitements and feelings will eventually die off. It happens every single year. And then you get into the boring, ugly, day-to-day stuff. That's when retention matters most. You don't have to worry about retention January 3rd. But come June 3rd, yeah, it's about time we got to make sure that retention is well in place. So don't take it backseat. Don't be, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Just make sure that what you do focus on are things that form habits. Make sure that they become dedicated. They know why they're doing it so that they can do it when these emotions eventually die off. Don't be a statistic when it comes to, everybody loses sight of their goals by January 21st. Don't be that statistic. Make sure that you have them so dialed in that they don't even know what day it is, what month it is, because they're so dialed into what they are doing right then and there. And you just move them from one thing to the next. Keep it fresh, keep it engaging, keep it fun, and get them results. Yes, most of it is in their court, but don't just leave it in their court. Retention also comes in. You're a coach. They came to you and said, I need help. Get them the help they need. Help them see those results and make this a thriving 2018. I'm so excited for what this year is going to be for so many coaches. Make sure that things happen on purpose, not by accident. And if you are at a loss, then start recruiting people and brainstorming with them and coming up with things as a team. You don't have to have the answers involved. Everybody else on the team so that they can have the buy-in as well so that they can be retained. All right, guys, what a fun time this has been. Since honestly September we've been together. This has been such a fun group. I'm so grateful that you guys have participated, that you guys have showed up, that you guys have shared things. And I feel like I'm better because of this group as well. Like I said earlier, I don't know if I'm going to dissolve this group just yet. We may have that emergency elite call whenever we decide to do that. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, please message me what you like to see improved with these mastermind groups, because we got to do another round for the new year. So thanks so much for everybody for jumping on. We'll see you whenever elite comes out.